It's my distinct honor to introduce we talked about Barbara Lee about being the mother of the stimulus money for our community. Well, Mayor Dellums has been the father of the Oakland Partnership and the Economic Summit, now in its third year. We have lots of great things that we are going to be communicating to you, accomplishments, unfiltered, and so hang on to your seats. But right now, please welcome our distinguished mayor, Mayor Ron Dellums.
Thank you very much, and good morning. And I thank my colleague for his very generous introduction. When you have as much gray hair as I do, maybe it's the grandfather rather than the father. Welcome to this third annual Economic Summit. As you recall, 2 years ago, we embraced a public-private partnership known as the Oakland Partnership, Oakland's Plan for Sustainable Economic Development. There are a number of pieces of information that I wish to impart to you this morning, so I've prepared some remarks to make sure that I say everything that needs to be said. At a certain point, I'll rise from the paper and discuss a few items with respect to the stimulus package. In a time of unprecedented economic downturn, it's very clear to me that we must work collaboratively, which is why 2 years ago we engaged leaders from business, labor, philanthropy, academia, and nonprofit communities to form the Oakland Partnership to do several things. One, create a thriving, innovative, equitable, globally competitive regional economy that creates 10,000 new jobs over 5 years. By tapping into the creativity and talents of all segments of the population and providing benefits to all Oakland residents and businesses. To achieve this goal, we established two objectives. One, increase investment in Oakland in a way that contributes to the prosperity of the city's businesses, the city, and all of its residents. And number two, to enhance and expand Oakland's workforce development programs and policies to increase the ability of Oakland residents to access new employment opportunities. At our summit last year, the Oakland Partnership presented its collaborative economic development plan for meeting these goals and objectives, and I would just reiterate for a moment to refresh our memory. Today we are here to reflect on our progress, and we've successfully implemented that plan. Have we done so? Given the severity of the current economic crisis, will we still be able to obtain our goal? That's an important question. This is an unprecedented time when on a global, national, state, and local level, we're feeling this extraordinary downturn. In that context, can the Oakland Partnership continue to go forward? Can we achieve our goals and objectives? We're also here to celebrate what is going on right in Oakland. Despite the bad economic news, dozens of companies have come to Oakland over the past few years. Many of them are here today, and you've seen with our terrific and extraordinary showcase Oakland Expo next door. Very exciting to see all these people here. And the sense of hope and optimism, even in these extraordinary times, I think was symbolically reflected in all these folks showing up today. I celebrate them and their accomplishments. Their creativity and entrepreneurial spirit brings jobs and investments to our city. You are the front runners in the race to realize the goal of the Oakland Partnership. Today, I will also be joined by many of my strategic partners in the Oakland Partnership to discuss our region's economic recovery and how we can best leverage the federal stimulus to achieve the goals we set out for ourselves. And let me just say this with respect to the stimulus. I have tried desperately to understand the president and listen very attentively to what he's saying and what he's trying to do. And it's very clear that what he is saying to all of us is that we're now prepared at the federal level to put several $100 billion in the cities and the towns and the state of America in 120 days. It's never been done in the history of America. There is no precedent for this moment. But it's one time, and it's never going to happen again. In our lifetime, we'll never see this moment again, when several $100 billion is to be dispersed in the states and in the cities. So what is the challenge for us? Do we put our buckets out and simply attempt to collect the various silos of money in the stimulus package to fund one-time objectives? Or do we, hearing the president who is saying, help me create a roadmap forward? Because on the other side of stimulus, there's still going to be a world. There's still going to be issues. There's still going to be the cities and the towns and the challenges that affect us. So for me, the objective, the challenge, is how do we take these one-time resources combined with our request of the federal government that they approach us in a strategic fashion, not in an agency by agency stovepipe fashion, because it doesn't work. Come at us strategically and we'll create the roadmap forward. In walks Oakland. As I've said before, we're not New York. So it doesn't take tens of billions of dollars in Oakland, although we would take it if they gave it to us, to create the models for policy going forward. Because President Obama knows that on the other side of stimulus, the challenges will still be there. And I think that this is Oakland's moment. And I want to say this to you very, very strongly. We did not have a partner at the federal level for the last 2 years. We weren't in the White House talking about the problems of Oakland and the cities and the towns and the states of America. But we now do have a partner, a brilliant human being who has said the federal government needs to play a role, and I understand the logic of it. And the logic is as follows. In a mixed economy, and we are truly a mixed economy, because when the public sector spends trillions of dollars, it has an enormous impact upon the budget. And how, where, when, why, and for what purpose the federal government spends its money, it can have an enormous impact on the economic vibrancy of our nation. And so that's the basis upon which Obama has said, we now at the federal level must step in and play a role. How we spend our money can change the paradigm. Now, one might argue about the direction, the volume, etc., but I understand the logic of what he's trying to do. Number two, he's saying, you don't create jobs in a vacuum, which is an integral part of the multi-pronged stimulus effort. Jobs are created as a result of a community, a society, a state, a nation's willingness and ability to address a problem. You address a problem, you generate employment. So that was the second basis for this whole thing. And thirdly, how do we more efficiently utilize the taxpayers' dollars in this economic downturn, at a point where Oakland, the state of California, is in economic disarray, where we're dealing with budget deficits? Even more profound moment when we must collaborate to more efficiently utilize our taxpayers' dollars and create a roadmap forward for national policy. So I would, in sum, say this. This is a one-time moment. It's never going to happen again. Our challenge is how do we take this moment and maximize the opportunity, not only to get us going in the immediate, but create a roadmap for sustainability going forward. If we don't accept that challenge and simply look at the stimulus package as funding a few specific one-time projects, we will have missed the power of this moment. And I think that Oakland has a destiny in this because of our size, because of our vitality, because of our diversity, and because of our sense of ingenuity. I believe that Oakland can seize this moment.